Who's Jax Teller? Who the fuck cares? Holy shit. This is a spoiler discussion of Mayans MC Season 3, Episode 3. So what you see is what you get. I mean, I just watched the episode, so you're getting my raw thoughts. This is definitely a discussion in the comment section. That line alone made me go, oh no, he didn't. Oh no, he didn't. Fucking, I'm talking Elgin James, because this motherfucker is the one that's running. No, he did not. Now, this episode to me is like when you turn on the heater and it's like warming up and it doesn't get to that certain like, I usually put mine to 76, right? So it heats up and then it gets to where you want it. And this episode exactly is like that. It warmed up and then it just got where I wanted it. This was another solid episode. I am super happy that we are just coasting along with great episodes. Now, of course, there's some things that I have issue with, but overall, the opening scene alone with Coco. Last review, I said I've seen this 1,000 times with not with Coco, but with characters. So I guess the perfect example would be like Jesse Pinkman, right? With Coco's character, as we first 2 seasons, I felt like, they could have went another route with his character because he's kind of a different cat too. He knows he fucks up a lot. He's very smart. He does stupid things sometimes, but he's very smart at the same time. In the very beginning of this episode, man, I absolutely was kind of blown away where they started off with Coco's mom and little Coco doing injecting heroin into her by the foot, like she's telling him, "Oh, come here, mijo, please, come be a good son," and then her telling him, "Don't be like mom." That was a freaking impactful scene. The opening scene of this episode was fantastic because it's really, and I saw an article, I didn't read it, that said that Elgin James is this particular storyline is very dear to his heart. So I guess he's gonna take if knowing that, I see that he's gonna take this really serious, and it's gonna be maybe something that seeing Coco in this episode. There's only 2 paths that can happen, right? He can be a Jesse Pinkman, where Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad gets over it. He's able to get clean. You see him kind of a little bit reaching for help. He's not saying it out loud, but Gilly could see it. And I love the interaction between those two. But there's only another route he can go. And this is the route I think that probably is going to happen. And I think Coco probably will OD some point of maybe the end of this season, or if they do get renewals. I mean, if they're going to do it, I think they'll do it at the end of the season. So there's only 2 paths he can go with this storyline, right? But that opening was amazing. So let's talk about Coco real quick. So Coco, man, really sympathetic character. I mean, this is a guy that I think majority of us like, and we don't want him to succumb to what he's succumbing. And we see just getting a little bit of that backstory about his mom and him actually injecting the shit in his mom with her requests really makes him even more sympathetic. Even we root for Coco. So seeing that, and then seeing him really struggle, and then seeing him, he made a promise. Like, he made this promise, and that's why you see him like not into drugs in the beginning of this whole series. He made this promise that he would never be like his mom, and then you see that in him and Letitia's relationship. Like, you see him trying, right? And then knowing that I still forget her name, but the woman that's was in the previous season, and then of course saved his life last episode, inject him and telling him that I made it all better. Coco wasn't doing heroin or anything like that. This is the first time. So he broke that promise, and now he's a fucking addict now because the main guy that I call the main gypsy guy, the main gypsy guy lets him go. And even though Coco is he's very shocked by this, and he's pulling gun, or the guy gives him the gun, and Coco's literally about to lose it, and he still gets his ass kicked and he loses his skin. But just seeing seeing that guy said that you're gonna be back, and that's exactly what happens at the end of this episode. I mean, Coco's storyline to me was like right here in a medium, and now it's at a high because it's just that simple beginning of this episode really establishes that, makes us really engaged in this storyline of Coco now. So because I mean, Coco, when he gets back, Gilly's worried with him, and this is great. I love how they give Gilly. I thought it was gonna be Creeper more, and you'll probably see Creeper come in here and give words or still kind of watch Coco. I think these are the two guys that have his back and kind of watching him. Gilly's a mean son of a bitch. You know, he's really he's a guy that will just rag on you and all this stuff. But he sees something's up with Coco and he still cares, even though he's acting like a tough guy. He still cares of what's going on with Coco. So I love the banter between them. It was a little bit hard though to understand what they exactly were saying. Sometimes when characters were talking, I don't know what's with the audio with the show, but or just overall the performance. I feel like they need to like speak up a little bit more and just be a little bit more. I mean, I'm one to talk, but I would like to. Sometimes I want to hear these actors deliver these lines, and I want to understand what they're saying. Even though I'm like, okay, that's what they're saying. But and then also, yeah, at some in this episode, Ezekiel just when they have the fucking drugs and the cops are on the way, and Coco is just kind of a mess. He's absolutely not there. He's really struggling. He's mentally breaking down, and you see that as an audience, and that's why you become more sympathetic and you want to like really root for Coco. So when Ezekiel had to tell him that, hey, you're gonna fucking stand there, or you're gonna help. And Coco, even before that, Bishop has to say, Coco, all hands on deck. Like Coco's not there. And at the episode, we see him, what he's struggling, what he's thinking about, and he's thinking about, getting another high. He's probably thinking about breaking that promise. He's definitely thinking about all these thoughts, and all this stuff is going through his head. That's why I think his daughter's going to help him out. His daughter's the only one that can help him out. Now, what's the interesting part, though, at the end of this episode is he gets the main gypsy guy takes pictures of Coco. I mean, it's all kind of a setup, right? The chick that first hit him with the heroin, the chick from season 2, brings him, like embraces him back in there. Like she has like this like kind of like warmth to her, right? She feels bad at what she's doing because she's getting drugs off it and she's really hurting Coco, even though Coco was kind of there. I don't think they had too much interaction the first time they met, honestly. A little bit, I guess, thinking back to it. But the guy takes pictures of Coco. So what is going on there? I'm super freaking interested where this is leading to. I was wondering why they let him go. I was like, why are they letting Coco go? This is madness, right? Or are they like a therapy kind of group going on in there or something? Are they just like, you're part of us now, Gypsy? But it's not like that. He has a plan, or he has there's something going on where he's going to use this leverage. I don't know. It's going to be absolutely insane these next couple of episodes. But I guess when we start this episode, just really kind of like focusing on Coco, and I'm all for it because Coco, this storyline just got way more interesting just because bringing back his mom and bringing back those demons really makes us more caring of Coco, because Coco was already a character we really liked. But I think they're now progressing his character. They're now letting you in on why he is who he is, or some of the beliefs he believes, or, he's still kind of, he's a knucklehead, but he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. He's a smarter character, and he knows he's fucking up. He absolutely says it himself. He's messing up, and he knows he can't, but now that he's gotten a taste, he can't fight it. Just like we see a lot of times in just real life, if you know anybody, and then also in television. So he's the Jesse Pinkman in my opinion right now. I'm super interested to see where that whole thing is going on. Another thing though, fucking Bishop is fucked. Like he is fucked. I think we got to really jump into the scene when Happy and Montez show up. So Happy is taking over Packer because Packer has cancer, right? And then basically he's telling Bishop, and it's a courtesy call. But we know that Montez knows what the fuck went down with the Vatos and the Mayans, right? But Montez can't really kind of tell the Suns crew because he's got a sweet little deal with Paulo. And we don't know what deal that is just yet, too. So Montez is a fishy motherfucker. I think he's actually going to die next episode. I think Montez is gone. Gut feeling, Montez is dead next episode. Whew, yeah, this Bishop, man, that courtesy call was a fucking threat, right? And Chibs gave the blessing. He's like, go fucking tell those motherfuckers, you know? Because so Happy is saying, if you need to call, you need to give us a heads up if you are going to our turf, if you're going to Packers turf, you know, I'm the leader now. You need to let me know. And fucking Bishop's like, you motherfuckers didn't give us a call when you came in here. And then they start, you see the friction, you see that old past rivalry really show. But in the past, it was Alvarez, Jax, it was Clay, especially Clay. But here it's fucking Happy, which they established really well because Happy is already involved with Easy and Angel. So they really established like there's like kind of he didn't do the job. You see, I feel like he kind of regretted what he did. But in this season, it's all business, right? It's all business. So even though and then it could come down to fucking Happy being killed by Easy or Angel. Easy most definitely. But how crazy would that shit be? But that's like that could happen in the future. But right now, there's such great friction between the fucking Mayans and the Suns right now. And that's the war we want to see, right? Well, a lot of people don't want to see it, but I'm intrigued to see how that would go down. We've seen it before with Suns, so do we really need to see it again? I don't know. It just makes the show a little bit more interesting. And then you get to the line, of course, Who's Jax Teller by Steve and the fucking Gizzy, Who the Fuck Cares? That's a big, I'm pretty sure everybody in the fandom is going to be talking about that shit. So that was that was a fantastic scene though. I thought that was great. I really felt that tension, even though it wasn't that long. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer. But man, was it great. It was definitely, this episode was the crumbles to things to come. It's the gonna bite you in the ass episode, basically. So that scene, but Bishop, man, you know, Bishop is doing this play that Ezekiel laid down last episode and laid down in this episode. They're going to up their drugs, right? Their drug run. And if this shit fucking fails, man, and then they have to lie to Alvarez, Bishop has to lie to Alvarez in his face that he's doing this for, like, you know, he's trying to make it work with the Kings and, you know, Ramos and Conchi. But in reality, he's saying fuck them all. He fucking tells Ezekiel after he speaks with Alvarez, fuck him, we're doing the run tonight. Fucking whoa, you just fucking lied to Alvarez. And you think that shit is gonna bite you in the ass. So, and then we fucking know it at the end of this episode. We know it. So, man, just, oof. Oh, Taylor was right. Taylor was absolutely right. She nailed it. So Angel warns Ezekiel, like, if this, because they're going through the tunnels, right? And you got to remember, one of the tunnels was sealed off by the DOJ. So fucking Angel warns Easy, like, listen, man, you got in Bishop's good graces, but I'll let you know right now, this plan fucks up. They're all gonna go after your ass. They're all jealous bitches, and they're gonna go after. I'm your bro, you know. But they're all gonna go after your ass. And Angel's a little heartbreaker, by the way, with nails, and he's nailing another chick. Like, he's banging so many chicks. So he warns Ezekiel, and what the fuck happens? Ezekiel is way too overconfident in this plan, and I was even confident in this plan. I thought they were gonna actually do it, but no, this plan gets fucked up right away. I think it was Vicky that maybe called the PD, or because she, you know, they set her up. She's the aunt of Riz, and she has the house, you know, with all the kind of like the other kind of I don't want to call it a hideout, but the other place where the Mayans go in Rome and bang chicks. But and then I think there's part of the tunnel too. Yeah, it's part of the tunnel as well. So because I'm going back. Sorry, I'm going back because remember Ezekiel and Angel, they came out of one of the tunnels, and it was an old lady who was just watching her, Telemundo or her Spanish soap operas, and they're both giving her money, like, okay, we had to come out this way and stuff. It's pretty funny stuff. There's a lot of humor in this episode, which I actually really liked. So, yeah. So I think it was Vicky, because Vicky talks to the one of the chick that they used to try to bring the drugs over the border, who crashed her. She got nervous, crashed a car. Which is, listen, man. I know it's Vicky says that the club don't care about you, so why don't you kind of turn them in? The club should have sent somebody to do the job. Basically, if you've seen The Godfather and if you've seen Narcos and you've seen any drug-related fucking movie or television show, Sopranos, you know that if something goes awry, you make sure you hush fucking that certain somebody who either caused it, was in on it. Watch Goodfellas. I honestly thought, like, why did they leave her alive? Honestly, but it's I don't know. And that's going to bite them in the ass. That might have been one of the, we need to find out next episode who was the one that, told, who's the one that, a lot of people signs are pointing to Vicky in a conversation with, I believe her name was Alicia. So that, Mary Mel, I mean, who else would it be? But we're going to have to see. It might be Montez in the promo says, what the fuck you did? Like maybe Paulo. I don't know. Paulo might have done it because he had the cop car, remember? So don't know yet. So this is kind of like just a fresh thinking here. So Ezekiel plan goes awry. I do love Gabby and Felipe's banter still. I think it's really growing on me. Like I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. But holy moly, it's sweet and great. And fucking at the end when Ezekiel's like dropping her off and they get that little kiss, I'm like, oh, you're fucked. Ezekiel, if you know anything, you know that they don't go after you when shit goes, and you're in this type of life. They don't go after you. They go after the ones you love. So you fucking think you have that patch on your back. And you think that fucking nothing, you ask your papa what the fuck happens when you're in this. Because Jax Teller's name was dropped in this episode. Yeah. Who did he fucking lose? Because he didn't die before his loved ones did. I think Gabby's dead. I think that Gabby's... There's just no way she's gonna live through this. So the whole also Taza, man. So we knew Taza was like iffy on Ezekiel's plan and everything, but other than not only that, I didn't think Hank. Because Taza says me and Hank have been thinking, dude, you're fucking. I don't know about this. So Hank is not on board either, and then the conversation that Hank and when this all goes awry and Steve has to be the main man, fucking Steve has to come for the win. Hank's conversation with Bishop and knowing that this failed attempt is not only going to go reach to Alvarez, but it's going to reach maybe to the Kings too. So, oh man, Bishop is fucked. He's fucked. Did anybody think that when Angel and Nails were naked, and I'm really growing on, Nails is growing on me. Nails is the bartender chick, right? The one that's running that whole spot. She kind of reminds me of Princess from The Walking Dead. I don't know if you guys watched The Walking Dead, but did anybody not think that Adelita wasn't just going to be, it was weird that she was just sitting there. It's like, did they not really see her? But I knew Adelita was going to be right there. But Nails says we have to talk. So I'm kind of assuming that maybe she's pregnant. That's because that, like, what does she have, like, what's she going to tell him? Like, okay, well, do you want to be with me? Or because, she's jealous. She wants to, I think she really likes Angel. She wants to be with Angel. Angel be breaking hearts and shit. But I think it might be bigger than that. I mean, the show has to create drama, right? So I'm assuming that she might be pregnant. But yeah, Adelita, that's the conversation I want to see is Adelita and Angels and see where that goes. So nothing too much with Adelita except her showing up at the end of the episode. If Galindo's not all for a blowjob or handy, that's game over, buddy. That's game over. That's like, really? You're going to reject? And Emily's a beautiful woman. So when she came in here looking nice, I was like, oh, you know. So, oh man, yeah, that it wasn't too much, but the stuff that we did get with her and her sister going against this one fat dude who threw an icy, because there are shake because they're at Frost Freeze, which I absolutely love Frost Freeze, banana shake all the way. But when he throws, and then that whole confrontation was just, I didn't care. I still don't care. I don't care. I don't even really like the sister all that much, honestly. It just feels like this storyline, it just feels like these scenes are just there to like lighten up the situation, because there's a lot of dark and crazy shit that's happening throughout this whole episode. And I think that we need this to really kind of like, we need Emily to really, you know, reconnect with her family or whatever, while she's losing another part of her family. We see the son more. He farts and shits himself. Yep. I don't care. I don't care. So whatever they do with this whole storyline, we'll see. But this is the least favorite thing I like about this season so far. It's just really having to bounce into the life of Emily and Galindo, which may lead somewhere. Of course, they are part of the show. I mean, we gotta remember Galindo is on a warpath, and I still want to see him find out that Felipe is his daddy. It's like a Star Wars kind of thing. So that was like, you know, it's like whatever. But what I really appreciate is, once again, we're getting scenes from other members of the Mayans MC, and we're seeing them get a little bit more spotlight, which I really, really enjoy. Even like, I think the biggest spotlight with all these guys is when the fucking drug run goes bust. I love it. I love how Gilly's like on the, you know, watching, and that whole scene too with Steve like buying time. I was gonna say, like, you're telling me all the cops would stop for one truck, one guy, and not continue to pursue their destination, but they end up doing it. So great, good. I don't have to bitch about it. But with all these guys, man, them fucking panicking and figuring out what the hell to do. Taza and Creeper hanging back and sitting on the drugs, and then Bishop and all of them leaving, and Coco fucking falls, and he's you know, it's Coco in this episode. So, but that whole like, yeah, it was great. It was so great, especially even the confrontation with Happy and Montez. Like, yes. Man, Bishop and the crew are looking a little bit like SOA members, a little bit, right? With the jackets, like they're not. You go compared to what their clothing is in this season and what their apparel is, and it's more like darker and more long sleeve gloves than the first two seasons. I'm digging it though. I'm loving the look. I'm loving where this is headed. This is still a beautiful episode. I think the running scenes of Coco could have been a little bit better, but I think that was like the only one like negative mark I had with overall just the scenes. I do love the scenes, you know, with Coco's mom and Coco, and how it's poetry. It just all comes together, right? When the head's back, Coco does the same thing like his mom did. It's just, you know, he's becoming what his mom was as a druggie. So I'm pretty sure Letty's going to come and help out Coco. She's going to start becoming the grown up. I think she's going to really grow up to help Coco, just to help her, you know, her dad. I think Gabby's dead man or dead woman walking. I really like how Felipe, you know, the banter they had, the nice play they have. It's really, I think that's the fluffiness, the lightness that you need in an episode. That kind of thing, you know, that kind of relationship. It's really great. And then you establish Gabby a little bit more, and you get a little other softer side of Felipe too. This episode was fantastic. It was great. I don't know if I would rank it higher than the first episode, because the first episode so far kicked it really, really good. And it was like really, set the tone. This episode, though, was definitely a winner. It was a winner. I would call it I would call it an inside the park home run. It's not crazy like fucking 450 feet home run. It's a inside the park home run where it just kind of took off and it didn't stop and it wanted to go all the way to the home plate. So this was a great episode, man. It was a great episode. I'm really digging what they're doing this season. I'm really loving what's going on with the Mayans MC and just overall season 3. And I'm going to check to see if the ratings are up, because I'm hoping that the ratings are up because I want to see more. Now you're establishing a lot of these characters. You're making them grow. What you need to do, and I can't really bitch about this episode. I really can't. I really can't critique too much about this episode. It's another episode where they're setting up. Like I said, the crumbles are there, and it's an episode where eventually it's gonna bite you in the ass in the long run. But it's definitely well worth that episode 3. You know, that episode 3 that setup you need before we get to the crazy ass shit, more crazy ass shit down the road. There's so many things I just can't wait to see happen and unfold. Did its job. Absolutely did its job. So I want to thank you guys for listening. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. It would help the channel. Like the video too. It would help the channel. I do breakdowns, so I cover a little bit more of this episode, and with the help of the Okius Taylor on Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you want to go and check us out in the chat and stuff. So yeah, I know a lot of people loved the last episode. So we'll see of our podcast or of our breakdown video. So we'll do it again this Thursday. Solid stuff. Solid stuff. And I want to thank you guys. And I'm Dan Daniel's son. And I am out of here, guys. Bye-bye.